Dr. Kinney here. I'm coming to you from my personal page today because I'm inviting a new friend of mine that I met last week in Toronto, Dr. Wong, and hopefully she got this message and will be on soon. So we are going to be talking today about some ways to reduce stress and some stress management tips. Hey Ellen, let's see, I can bring you on camera now. Hopefully she gets on soon. So yeah, we're going to talk about some stress management tips. This time of year tends to be really stressful for people. It's school year. Hi Ellen, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. So good to see you.
Yeah, likewise.
How's the weather in Toronto? Is it nice today?
Much better now compared to the weekend. We're gonna hit 25 Celsius today. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but something warm.
That's warm. It's warm here today. I'm wearing like short sleeves and it's good stuff. Warm. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna push something on the screen to try to get rid of something. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm just not gonna do that.
No worries. So yeah, I was just saying that we're going to be talking about some tips for stress management. Both Ellen and I work a lot with patients who are overwhelmed, burnt out, exhausted, and the first thing they really need is to be, to have some tools that they can use to get themselves out of feeling stressed. So Ellen, what's your favorite stress management tip?
So this one sits very personally for me because, it's interesting. I love eating food and I'm a huge foodie.
Yeah.
A lot of my patients and friends know that I spend a lot of my time kind of thinking about what I want to eat and planning nice dinners and things like that. But, when I get stressed out at work and I have a ton of stuff to do, I forget to eat, and it could be a whole day. And next thing you know, I'm, feeling low blood sugar and I'm kind of shaky and I'm anxious and I'm cranky and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's one of the things that, I know you and I both tell our patients, but also for ourselves, is just kind of reminding that, we need to set time aside to just eat something, whether it's a snack or 20 minutes just to sit down and eat a lunch in the middle of your day is probably going to make you way more productive in the next couple of hours than if you try to sit there and just plow through everything.
Yeah, that is huge. And I know the same one too. When I skip lunch, I feel my blood sugar crash and it's like I can't handle anything if I don't eat. But once I eat, it's like everything feels so much better.
And you can't problem solve anymore, right?
So tip number one is make sure you eat. Eat breakfast, eat lunch, eat a snack, especially when you're stressed. I think a lot of people have a hard time doing this one because when they're stressed, they think, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time to eat.
Right.
But you will make more time if you sit down and eat. You'll be able to get things done much more quickly if you actually eat food.
100%.
Yeah.
So what's yours? What's one on your list?
Well, lately my favorite one has been adding in a small time every day for meditation. And I've been recommending meditation to my patients for a long time, and I finally in this past year have really started doing it myself. And I think the scary thing for a lot of people is that they think, oh my gosh, I don't have time to meditate. It's so long, my mind travels so much that I can't shut my mind up. But it doesn't have to be an hour of meditation. It doesn't have to be, It can be 2 minutes, and it doesn't have to be clearing your mind. It can just be focusing on your breath or listening to some music or listening to a guided meditation. So I've been counseling all my patients to get an app. There's so many of them out there. Hi, Maggie. Nice to see you.
Hi.
Thanks for watching. So my favorite app is called Insight Timer, and there's tons of
that's so funny.
Is that yours too? Yeah, I love it. So, and I started out using that one using a little guided meditation. There was one, it's like a 2-minute guided meditation. It was just a morning meditation. And it was amazing. And now I listen to these Buddhist monks chanting, and I go through I just focus on something positive. And that can also be a meditation. If there's something that you've been wanting in your life, or if there's an event that you're stressed about, just focus on that event going in a positive way. And it's amazing how doing something as simple as a 2-minute practice every day can make such a big difference in your ability to not feel overwhelmed. And that's my favorite tip right now.
Yeah, you know what? I really like my sleep. So I have a tendency to want to sleep until the last possible minute before I have to wake up for the day. And then I used to kind of find myself getting a bit not frantic, but like kind of rushed in the morning, and I haven't even started my day yet. And then so it's already feeling like your day's off to the start where your energy's really frantic and you just kind of don't feel calm and ready to deal with the problems that are coming up during the day. So I've started every morning, just like you said, like 3 minutes. That's all I do. And it just kind of gets you in the right mindset to be ready to kind of face what's going on, that you're about to go and do. So I think that's a really good tip, and I've really loved using some tools to do that too.
Yeah. So
for sure.
That's great. And let's see, what else we were going to talk about.
So I said one of the things that I was going to do, and I think it kind of fits into your meditation thing. But hi Andy.
Hi Andy. Nice to see you.
So one of the things that I also do is just, again, it sounds very simple, but it's so important. It's just taking a break. Right? Like all it takes, and so many times, I'm sure you and I have done it, you're sitting there kind of staring at your computer, trying to get things done, doing, research for patients or putting things together, and then all of a sudden it's been hours before you've gotten out of your seat, you've been staring at the screen, your eyes are dry, and you're like kind of blinking funny, like all that kind of stuff. And really at the end of the day, it's about just getting out of your chair, stretching a little bit, walk maybe to another person's office if you can talk to somebody, or just kind of changing your surrounding a little bit, because I think just simply taking, even if it's like a 5-minute break, it gives you a new perspective on something that you've been tackling for the last little bit.
Oh yeah, 5-minute break is amazing, especially if you can get outside in a 5-minute break.
For sure.
Go outside, get some sunshine. Hey Marcus, thanks for listening. So we talked about eating for stress reduction, doing a little bit of meditation, taking a break, and exercise is another piece that we all know is so good for stress reduction, but everyone's like, oh, I don't have time. And I talk to my patients a lot who are overwhelmed and frazzled, and they're like, I don't have an hour to go to the gym, so I just can't go. So I just say I'm not going to go. And I think sometimes, especially when you are stressed out and feeling overwhelmed, an hour at the gym can actually make your situation worse. You're in fight or flight. If you go run for an hour, it's going to continually put your body in fight or flight. It's better to go exercise for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Even just get outside so that you can do 2 of these things, knock them out in one stone. Go outside and take a 5-minute walk. Walking, I think, is one of the best forms of exercise. It doesn't get you too much in that fight or flight zone, but it gets your body moving, it gets your brain moving, it kind of gets you out of whatever situation that you were in. So, and again, it doesn't have, I think a lot of people get stuck in this mindset that, I don't have the time to go to an hour-long class, or I don't have the time to go run 6 miles, or
for sure.
It can just be 10 minutes, and I've been through this myself. I used to be a marathon runner, and after having kids, I didn't have time to go, do my 6-10 mile runs that I was used to doing. And it was really hard for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, running used to be the way that I would calm myself down and but I literally did not have the time. So I now, I take a 5-minute walk, I take a 10-minute walk, and I actually feel better than I did back way when I was running a lot. I mean, running is good for clearing your head, but walking can do just the same. So if you think you don't have time to exercise, you really do. Just go find 5 or 10 minutes and go for a walk. Or if you're someone that likes yoga or those things, do 5 or 10 minutes of stretching or yoga. That can be it can really make a difference. Like I said, I think a lot of people really think that they have to do something for a long period of time to have an impact, and you don't.
For sure. So it's really interesting you bring that up, because I don't think I knew this about you. I don't know if you talked about it this weekend, but I actually used to run marathons too. Yeah, seriously. And that was my way of being like, I have to, make sure I schedule in my 2-3 hours of exercise at least a week. And I got to do all these runs, and I got to make sure that I train for this race, because that's my way of motivating myself to exercise, because I signed up for a race and I have to get it done. So I'm going to go to, and it just ended up being this kind of vicious cycle of when I was stressed out, then I got stressed out even more that I had to exercise. And then running really long distances is actually quite stressful on your body. And this is not to say nobody should run marathons, but I think you just have to find a really good balance between what you're doing. And so one of my favorite pieces of advice that I give people now, especially people who drive to work and whatnot, I'm like, I mean, in Toronto, it gets pretty cold, so I don't blame them when it's like minus 20 degrees outside. But, you know, if it's in the summer, do you really have to absolutely find the closest spot in the parking lot to park? Like, could we just not kind of park at the end of the parking lot and walk that little bit of time? Or, you know, if you're only going up one or two stairs, or sorry, one or two stories, like, could we take the stairs maybe? And then that's a little bit of movement just to get your body doing something a little bit different. So it's actually really easy to get a movement into your life. It doesn't have to be sign up for a gym membership and, you know, wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym and all that kind of stuff. And if you can, excellent, fantastic. But I think you and I both work with a lot of, you know, very busy women, and that feels really daunting. And it doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't. And you know, the other thing, I talk to a lot of my patients, some of them are killing themselves to make it to the gym and are they're almost over exercising. And what happens is when you're stressed out, your body goes into fight or flight, which means all the blood flow goes to your arms and your legs, and all of the blood gives your internal organs. So we're not digesting, we're not, you know, we're not nourishing the body. And so I often counsel my patients that are over exercising that they need to cut back on it, because while running is so great, it also you know, you're literally fleeing, you're in flight, you're running from someone, so you're keeping yourself in fight or flight longer. And I think the biggest thing that I see when I'm working with my patients is that they get stuck in this hamster wheel thing, which you and I talked about a lot last week. And it literally, what happens is there's supposed to be a negative feedback receptor in your brain that once cortisol and the stress hormones are flooded out into the body to make you go into fight or flight, after whatever the trigger is, after that's over, that cortisol is supposed to go back to the hypothalamus and knock on this receptor and say, hey, it's time to turn off, you know, this hormone that it's called cortisol releasing hormone that turns on the stress hormones. But after a while, that receptor, it's kind of like if you live on a street where you get, you know, tons of solicitors knocking on your door. After a while, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to put up a sign that says no solicitors. I'm not accepting anybody. And your brain will do that. It stops accepting, you know, this negative feedback. So then literally your cortisol response can't get turned off. So some of the things that we've talked about today, you know, making sure that you eat, you know, if you're not nourishing your body with proper food, your body can't rebuild new receptors. And they've also done amazing research on how meditation helps to reset some of those receptors. So when you're doing that, taking that couple of minutes of time to meditate, you're going to be resetting those receptors in your brain, which
And another way to look at it is like everything in life is kind of about balance, right? Like we hear about the yin and yang a lot. And so if your work is really busy, you're in yang mode. If you go exercise, you're in yang mode. And then that's all you're doing. And then all the things that are really important to kind of reset our body, recharge our body, that's all yin stuff. And people who are really busy and professionals and all that, like they just keep going and going and going. And then they add one more thing to their schedule. And they're like, but I'm exercising. That's supposed to be great. Absolutely, it's great. But there has to be a little bit of balance in everything that you do. And if today's just you're tired and it's not the day, then don't do the 20 minutes. Don't even do 10 minutes, do 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. It's just about kind of like finding a good balance and making sure that you keep that yin and yang both in your life. Otherwise you're just going to go into this like kind of overdrive, right, with the cortisol, for sure. So is there anything else that we talked about? You know what? Okay, there's one more thing that I want to say. And I think you and I are definitely guilty of this sometimes. I think we're getting better at it. But it's also just, it's asking for help. You know? Don't take it all on. There's probably like, whether it's one small problem that you've been working on for a really, really long time and you can't find a solution, ask somebody for a different perspective, ask somebody for help. Or you're the one that has to do this and it has to be your project or your thing or your task, then maybe ask for help for something else that's on your plate, right?
And I think women are always guilty of this. Oh no, I can do it all myself. I don't need help. And I've struggled with that my whole life. But it is definitely really important to, you know, ask someone for help. Ask a friend, you know, ask a family member, or if you don't have someone to ask, pay someone to help you, because you can also
Oh my goodness, absolutely. There's like some guilt about like not doing that, and like it's okay.
Like,
it's totally okay to find someon to help you, and if it means you have to pay somebody, then that's okay.
There are people you can pay to do anything in today's world. So well, maybe not anything. So yeah, so tell me about some of the things that you're doing in your practice, like programs you're running and
Yeah, so I just founded the Recharge Revolution,
awesome.
and it's really about helping busy professional women increase their energy, get some more calm and focus in their life, and find good life balance. Because to me, like, I'm really passionate about empowering women to live the lives that they want to live. So I'm really excited putting this program together. I'm gonna put the finishing touches on it, and in the next little while, I'm gonna be sending out either something online or whatnot for applications to get into the program. So I'm super pumped about it. And
awesome.
I know that you've done something similar, and you had some really good feedback, and like the spots are filling up.
Yeah. My program's launching this week. It's called the Radical Recovery Blueprint, and it's geared towards patients that are women that are feeling overwhelmed and exhausted and irritable and just not where they want to be. I just had someone this morning in my office. She wants to jump on. She used to love photography. She used to love traveling and doing all these things, and she's just been so fatigued, and she's depressed, and she's not where she wants to be. Kind of similar in your, she's not living her life to her full potential, and she got really excited about this program. We're going to really learn how to understand your body's needs, how to listen to your body, and how to really get some wisdom about what your body's trying to tell you. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I've got several people.
I want to sign up for your program. Yeah. It sounds really awesome.
I think we're both doing really good work, because there's so many women that have, and as you and I both know, we've both been through this, which is why we're helping other women, because we've kind of
and like we're really passionate about helping people find solutions, because I think like exactly what you said, like that hamster wheel, right? Like we get on it and we feel like we have to have a really great career, and then we get that going, and then there's families, and then somewhere in there you're supposed to have a social life and all that kind of stuff, and it gets a little bit crazy after a while. And there's lots of advice that people can find online and Google and all that kind of stuff, but sometimes it's just a list of things you're supposed to do, but you don't really know how to implement that list and in what order you're supposed to implement it in that actually makes sense, right? So I think that's why these programs can be really helpful, because someone's like kind of helping you step by step, walk you through what's reasonable and help you problem solve, and have this community that's going to be there to problem solve and support each other, which I think is really, really, it's a beautiful thing to have.
Yeah, it is really cool. Well, Ellen, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been
thank you for inviting me, and I'm so excited to see like the results of all the women who are in your program.
Yeah, me too. And hi Ryan, hi Jennifer, thank you guys for watching. We're actually about to hop off. I've got to go. I'm in the clinic today, so I've got to go and see some patients. But Ellen, we will definitely do this again sometime soon. And
absolutely.
For those of you guys watching, or if you're watching this later, please type in comments, questions. If you have questions for Dr. Ellen, we'll get them to her. If you have questions for me, I'll respond to them. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you online again soon.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.